This is plumber's gold, the best valve plumber can keep in his truck for any kind of faucet emergencies. Now, if you're changing a faucet, if you're changing supply lines, just have this valve just in case. Okay. This will go on an old valve that's giving you trouble, doesn't want to hold the water back. You can stick this on an existing valve. Just say, you can't find the main shutoff. Say it's a bigger house than normal, or it's a commercial building and you have to go up several floors to find a shutoff, or if it's a condo and all this crazy madness before you flood out, stick this valve on there. This is the best way to stop emergencies changing faucets. That to me is golden, because there's so many small jobs that you go to. You think, it's just such a small job, I'll be done really quick, no issues. And then something like this, something really small happens where it's just leaking like crazy. And say you're changing a toilet, or you need to get some extra parts or whatever, but throw this on there to stop the water. And you don't have to shut the whole house down or the whole building down and change a valve, which is not too difficult. If you have compression fittings, you can just change the compression fittings. If you have something else, then that's going to be a whole nother story. But in addition to that, if you have these commercial drains and they get clogged and they're not easy to unclog. So what I figured out working on another job, I did install one of these because they had a mixing valve on the bottom and it was just a nightmare. So I just threw this on after the mixing valve and I was able to stop the water. I had a small drip and I was able to just use the supply line as a little jetter. And I hooked up the supply lines. I have all different kinds of supply lines because I have to hook up those mixing valves for hot and cold going to a Toto sensing valve. And this worked out great. They're going to overflow a little bit. You're going to have some dirt coming out of the overflow. Just have yourself a portable vacuum, vacuum everything out. So that's what I did. I vacuumed everything out, and then I jetted it again and oscillated this thing on and off, on and off, on and off. And you just hook this up to the valve down below under the sink, connect it. Okay, and you can even leave this valve there if you want to. So next time it gets clogged, you can just jet it out again. Or you can just have an extra valve to shut off the water and then hook up another supply line and then just reconnect to the faucet. So you always have this valve under the sink to jet your drains out. So this is the part number. These are the specs. Would definitely recommend. $10 on HomeDepot.com. Supplyhouse.com has some, but they're knockoff. They're not Brasscraft. I trust in Brasscraft. I don't like to go with anything else unless it's another brand that I'm familiar with, but I like to stick to the dependable ones. And another issue I think with these, where the ones that were made in Italy, the little handles are popping off and then you can't turn them off and on. So that's another benefit to one of these here, where if you're in a commercial building and have one of those Italian valves and the handle blows off, before you shut it off and get stuck, put one of these on and just try and work with this instead of breaking off that handle, because I've seen those break off and they're not fun. So anyway, that's it. Have fun, be safe, take your patient pill, and get her done. Okay, now one more tip I just wanted to add, just because it helps to have in the toolbox. Even if you're just a homeowner or a business owner and you want to get yourself out of a fix, this 3/8 by 3/8 coupling will definitely come in handy. So if you don't have the right supply lines, you can just hook this up to here and you got yourself a little fitting here. It wants to work with me. Come on now. There we go. You get it in there, then you can hook up your other side of your supply line. All right, so now you got your supply line here, and then you got your little valve here, in line supply line valve. But to me, that's plumber's gold right there. It doesn't get no better than that. So you can use this for a jetter. You can, like I said, have an extra shutoff valve for the faucets or mixing valves, commercial valves. Comes in handy big time. For the foot pedals, when I install foot pedals, there's also mixing valves involved, and having an extra valve like this works great because some of those old valves have not been touched for years. And those plastic valves, those angle stops, they just don't want to move sometimes. So, hey, have one of these and you're good. That's it.